Welcome to the Niagara region, where today we're going to be making curry in a 101-year-old house. Let us tantalize your imagination with ease, simplicity, and curry. Let's get cooking. Hey, anybody home?
Hello, Chef D!
Hey, Bonnie!
Oh yeah, come on in.
Great to see you again.
You too, you too.
This is Bonnie Young, who has a passion for curry. There's so many different regions and different ways of doing it.
Absolutely.
And a friend of mine has a restaurant out in Vancouver called Vidges, and it's great Indian food, but he tailors it to the North American ideals. So there's not as much goat and that. So that's kind of what I wanted to do, was that we made it really friendly for all our friends later tonight. And your recipes come a long way. So can you just explain it again to me, how it came about?
I had a client many years ago who absolutely loves curry, and her family happened to be from Goa, and they do a very specific kind of curry there. It's a very coconut-based cuisine there. So it's very kind of creamy, not a lot of heat. It's actually one of the most soothing, calming curries I've ever had. And you can do it with seafood as well. We're doing a vegetarian one today, but you can do it with seafood. You can do it with a nice, like a beautiful shrimp, or even a lobster tail if you wanted to get really fancy.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, most of us are familiar with that, the pre-blended curry spice, right?
Exactly.
Some of us are afraid of it. My husband, for one, he when we got married, he said, as long as you don't make a curry, we will have a long and happy marriage, which made me cry because it's one of my favorite things to cook. So then when I explained to him that curry isn't just that, curry is an amalgam of all of these spices. Basically, anything you want to do with it, any spice you want to put together, it's going to taste fantastic. And now he is making curries from scratch as well, blending his own spice mixes. We have curry at least once a week at our house. So we're going to just add about 3 tablespoons of grated coconut, and this is unsweetened coconut. Same amount of chili powder, and then some ginger. You want to throw some ginger in there, about half a teaspoon. About a quarter teaspoon of turmeric. Turmeric is beautiful color. You'll see what happens when it...
Exactly. Now with turmeric's one of the 3 herbs that will help prevent memory loss. Oh. There's sage, there's rosemary, and there's turmeric. There's been...
A little more in there. About a teaspoon of cumin seeds, about 2 teaspoons of coriander powder. So now we're just going to whiz that up.
Sure.
Add a little lime in there.
Okay.
Normally you put in a little bit of tamarind. Tamarind is an involved process. You have to, it's the pulp from the tamarind pod, and then you have to boil it, and it takes a bit of time. So instead we're going to just throw in some lime in there.
And there's, like we talked about, different regions in the world that, you know, they all do something just a touch different because that's the ingredients they get, right?
Exactly.
But we're a melting pot here in Canada, where we can just take everything and just run with it. That's what's so great about it.
Make it the way you want it.
Exactly.
So the next thing we have to do is just brown off some onions.
So now, Bonnie, I put the onions in.
Yep.
Now, are we going to cook them till they're translucent?
I would go even a little farther than that. An Indian lady that taught me how to make my first curry ever, she said, you want those onions almost disappeared.
So we're going to add our tomatoes.
And then the spice mixture goes in, and that cooks down together. Again, it's all about layering of flavors, right? You've got your onions, then you've got the acidity from the tomato, and you've got that great spice mixture. That's supposed to cook for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then we add the coconut milk, and then it's done. It's a base, and you can add anything you want to it.
This is where we're going to do something different. For my bean salad, what I was thinking is that we're going to add some yogurt to it, cool it down, and it's going to become the dressing for the salad.
That's amazing.
So to make our salad, what we've done is just kind of added some mango and some blanched off fresh green beans. So can you add our toasted and roasted almonds? So now what I've done with those is put them in the oven for about ½ an hour, and that's going to get rid of that chalky flavor that you do not want. So you can put them all in there.
All of them?
Yeah, we're going to feed lots of people tonight.
And then these as well?
Now they can be any raisins you want. If you want to do some cranberries, some dried cranberries or dried blueberries,
great.
How good would that be?
Fantastic.
So for the dressing, we're just going to take some low-fat yogurt and chop up some cilantro, and it goes.
Oh, that smells good.
So now we're going to add a little bit of your curry. I'm going to add probably about 5 tablespoons.
This is a great idea for a party because you can dress the salad
Agreed.
before your guests come.
Exactly.
Put it away.
It's not going to wilt. It's not like a lettuce where it's going to go, you know. So Bonnie, we're going to do a beef short rib cinnamon curry.
That's good.
So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of clarified butter. Now, in the Indian term, they use ghee. That's the terminology for it. But if you don't have clarified butter, you can use canola oil or olive oil or just regular butter. But we got to remember, when we use regular butter, the milk solids are still there and it'll tend to burn on you. This it won't burn, and it's good for high heat, which we need right now. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of clarified butter to the pressure cooker pan. And we're just going to start off by browning some onions, and I'm going to grab some of our cumin seed. Because what we want to do is for 30 seconds, we want to toast this off. We're going to put about a tablespoon in, or just maybe a little bit more.
And Chef D, why do you want to toast them?
So it's going to give that bigger flavor, and some of the oils are going to come out of the seeds. And as you can see, once you put it in with the butter, it just starts foaming and starts going, and then it's going to start popping. So we're going to take about a cup and a half of onions. I'm going to keep a couple cloves of garlic whole, and they're going in right now.
Wow.
You want to look for something that has lots of meat to it, you know? So that there's lots of meat there, just a little bit of fat.
And again, you don't have to brown those off anywhere?
Oh no, not at all, not at all. They're all going in there. Now you can add beef stock, you can add vegetable stock. I was at the store today and just picked up some vegetable stock. We're going to add 1 cup of red wine. Now, this is the other little ingredient that I like using, is strained tomatoes. Now you can use the diced tomatoes if you like, but I really like this because it's a concentrated flavor, and the producers can't cheat. With the diced tomatoes, they can put a little bit more salt in, or they can add a little bit of sugar to pump up the flavor.
Okay.
This is actually simmered for a little bit, so all that beautiful flavor comes together.
Nice.
So now we're going to add about 2 cups of this.
Okay.
We're going to put the whole cinnamon stick in, okay? We'll just put it in as way we go. Now, some celery seed, because I couldn't find some fenugreek. And now I did some cloves up already. I love cloves. I love everything about it. So we're going to put those in, and just about maybe half a teaspoon. It's a really powerful herb, and I don't want it to overpower what else we have going on here. A couple bay leaves. Finally, your favorite.
Thanks for accommodating my favorite. That's great.
Oh, I think we're going to go a little bit more.
So this will be different than any other time you've made.
You know,
I know. It's like perfume. It really is.
Oh, just love that. I don't like putting a lot of salt in it right now. I'm going to put my pepper and my other spices in, and then when we're done, that's when we're going to add our salt. Now what we're going to do is we're going to keep it there for about the next hour, and that steam's going to keep going and going. And the great thing about this, what people forget about pressure cookers versus a slow cooker, is that all that flavor doesn't go anywhere other than what you're cooking.
Okay, so it's totally concentrating.
Exactly.
And it cuts your time. Like if you were to do something like that in the oven, braising them in the oven?
5 hours. Are you ready for the moment of truth?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Wow. That looks and smells incredible. Wow.
It's just, you know, it's so easy.
It's perfect.
It just melts in your mouth. Bonnie, thanks for the use of a century-old home. Fantastic people to cook for. In the last few minutes, you've seen how straightforward it is to make a meal with ease, simplicity, and some mouth-watering curry. Here's to great eating, because you're worth it.